Hello, Galaxy! I'm Chris Pirillo. You've tuned in to another live edition of the Lockergnome Daily Report, a Sunday edition, a Thanksgiving weekend edition, a Black Weekend, Black Friday, Cyber Monday edition. Well, that's tomorrow. Well, Cyber Monday is tomorrow. Black Friday already happened. We'll be talking about it tomorrow in the other YouTube channel, youtube.com/Chris Pirillo. If you're wondering what I was doing, sniffing before this broadcast really began, I was attempting to discover whether or not corn emoji smells as bad virtually as it does in real life. The answer is no, thankfully. That would allow me to stomach this particular live broadcast. I took a day off yesterday. Hopefully you didn't mind. Hopefully you missed me. One would hope. I'm hoping for just one thing tomorrow, Cyber Monday, that Super NES Classic Edition. We have the Nintendo Classic Edition, the original NES Classic Edition from last year, and I'm very grateful that Millionaire 2K was able to find that for us. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had it. I ended up getting a Nintendo and NES when I was a kid, when I was younger, I should say. A little older than a kid. I was a teenager. And then my wife, Diana, had a Super Nintendo, an SNES, a SNES. And I never really got into the SNES. I was older, and I know kids in the dorm, young people in the dorm, adults in the dorm. Well, we weren't really adults. Young adults, older teenagers in the dorm were amazed by the graphics on the Super Nintendo. But I never really played the Super Nintendo system. I want one to get for Diana for Life Day this year, and I don't know how well that's going to go. Tomorrow, allegedly, we may be able to get our hands on one at a local store that may have inventory. That remains to be seen, unlike the light coming from the screen, which was just seen a few seconds ago, in case you were wondering where my skin tone came from, why it changed. I have heard your complaints. I have. All two of them. Thank you for complaining. I appreciate that. I have now pushed my tea container off to the side. Did you know you can make, this container sound like a Wookiee? It's very Wookiee-esque. Instead, I'm going to be sipping some unboxing juice. Ah, that's good juice. They ran out of my favorite beer, so there's a slightly bloody Boba Fett there. It's not real blood. I don't drink the blood of any creature. You can't do that when you're a vegan. But I can drink wine. Unboxing juice. That's good stuff. Thanks, as always, to those of us joining us in the us room. Us? The chat here is Discord chat, available to you if you subscribe. A great Black Friday deal. A great Cyber Monday deal. All you have to do is sub to me on Twitch, potentially for free, if you've connected your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo. Link could very well be in the video description. It may or may not be. You'll have to check. Or head over to patreon.com/Chris Pirillo. Again, link may be in the video description. Become a patron, become a sub, either one or both if you're so inclined. I'll give you a good deal. I will give you year-round content. Huh? All you gotta do is be a sub or be a patron. I'll give you year-round access to this chat room. That's open 24/7, unlike my very brief videos, right? If you can only handle maybe an hour of me a day, then you're probably good. Maybe you don't really watch the videos I do, at which point I'd wonder, why are you listening to me right now? Unless, of course, you have nothing better to do with your time this evening. I am doing my best to dodge trash duty. And, I'm very grateful we've now moved past the duty part of trash duty. Jedi is mostly going to the toilet to do her duty. Mostly. Not quite out of diapers yet. But then again, neither am I. So I can't really push her too hard. That was just a recent thing for me. Given that I live in my parents' basement still, according to some people on YouTube. So it must be true. We do have a super chat. Thank you, Liz. She says, breaking the ice. I got an ice maker Black Friday. That's amazing. I got my Darth Vader refrigerator right here. This dusty old refrigerator that's never been plugged in, but it does cool. You're not supposed to, like, cool things down permanently. See, I still have the instruction manuals in there. Let's close it again. See? I will collect anything if it has Darth Vader on it. There's so many Darth Vader things I don't have either. There's some kind of cube spinner that was just released by the same people who do fidget spinners, but I haven't found it in stores here. Not yet. And then Diana tells me she wants the sugary Star Wars cereal, and I haven't found that in stores either. Although, wait until you see what I got Jedi for Life Day this year. Christmas Day, Life Day. It's a Life Day holiday season. See, every day, the Wookiees fly by and deposit one tiny present into Jedi's tiny little stocking that she asked for. She's got a little Stormtrooper stocking. And they basically drop off like sticker sheets. Like tomorrow I hear they're going to be dropping off one of those tiny little coloring books. Little fun, silly gifts. And then, of course, that culminates to when we celebrate Life Day on Christmas Day, right around the winter solstice, the reason for the season. I have to remind everybody that you can get gift cards courtesy of go.tagjag.com/freepoints. I have to thank that particular service because they made it possible for me to get this, I don't know what you would call it, like building stuff? It's not really building stuff. The doughy stuff that you can use to like sculpt like clay, but it's not clay, right? And there's many different types of goo that you can buy. Unfortunately, a lot of the goo is very messy, which I wouldn't mind so much as if Jedi was able to handle the goo. And I think she can handle the goo, but cleaning it up ain't a lot of fun. So we were struggling to try to find something that would allow her to kind of mold with her hands, kind of clay-esque, but not really clay, something that would clean up easily, water-soluble and all that. We think we found something. It's like fake snow. It's really kind of neat. And we found it at a learning, I guess it would be a toy shop of sorts. And it was pretty neat. We didn't get it there. Sorry, it was a little pricey. I know, support local businesses and everything, but hey, Daddy's got a budget. Ain't that many super chats rolling through. We don't have that many subs or patrons as of right now. I think what we're going to do on New Year's, by the way, in case you were wondering, we'll probably do like a subservient Chris. We'll take super chats. We'll do everything. I want to try to get to 200 people in the chat room. I want to start off 2018 with 200 people registered in the chat room. And we're right around like 100, 110 or so, give or take. So we'll see if we can do some, chat drive on New Year's Eve. That'll be our celebration together, in case you were wondering. Set the date. Mark your calendar. We will be there. I don't see a lot of questions up front, but thank you, Soback75, for asking how my day off was. It was amazing. I was chomping at the bit, though. I was like, I really want to do a TLDR. I got to avoid trash duty with some legitimate reason. So throw me some good questions. Tomorrow, we will be covering the Black Friday, Cyber Monday stuff, and that's going to be the Let's Talk About. And I think on Tuesday, we'll talk about microtransactions and pay to win. But if you have any other hot topics that we can cover in the other channel, let me know. Do you think tech companies, asks someone on YouTube chat, try to throw hardware at software problems and software at hardware problems, or is it just me? Yeah, no, it's not just you. They don't care. Most of them genuinely don't. They know that software isn't going to sell, and they know that the hardware is going to sell. So why improve something in software if you can just sell them new hardware? You don't really make a lot of new money in selling new software. People will get software for free, but the hardware is where they make their money. So it's very shocking when you hear Wicket stop barking for like 2 seconds. I spoke too soon. Hang on, I'm gonna call Diana. Can you just give me a moment? Call Diana.
Calling Diana Pirillo, mobile.
I could have said call Diana on speakerphone too, but we're just gonna call her. It's a nice little software feature. I'm actually...
Hello?
Hey!
Yes.
Oh, I can hear myself in the distance. That's so cool. I should have broadcast. That's a really cool thing that you can do on Google Home, too. Hey, I'm broadcasting right now, but a different kind of broadcast. I'm wondering, does Wicket want out. Yeah, I think we're on the same wavelength there.
I know, yeah, I've been letting out. I'm cooking, so I think he smells the food.
Oh.
And he's out, but yeah,
Okay.
I've been letting him out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. I love the fact that you can hear it go boop really loud too when you hang up the phone. So yeah, I really do think that they're not doing much to improve software. They just throw new hardware at a software problem, and in some cases it improves the situation, but it doesn't at the same time. For example, a few minutes ago, I was trying to document for a developer. I do talk to developers frequently. I was trying to register a bug report with a certain scrolling issue I was having, and he was asking me to better explain it. I'm like, well, I need to use my iPhone in order to record the issue happening on my Pixel 2 XL. So, I basically record it. Oh crap, I forgot. It needs to be rotated, right? Because apparently I recorded it in vertical orientation. But iOS doesn't have a rotate feature after the video has been recorded. You got to use a third-party tool. That's something that's built in to Android, or at least inside the Photos app. You can rotate the video, so that was nice. But anyway, so that was one snag. Then I needed to get the video to him. So what I did was I went to the Twitter app on iOS. I'm all up to date and everything, the latest beta of 11.2 or whatever. And man, the jank. Oh, the jank mode, the jank. It was so bad on Twitter on iOS, on an iPhone 8 Plus. After having just recently even used Twitter, not third-party client, the Twitter app on Android here. It's fantastically more smooth on a device that is radically under-spec'd by comparison. But on iOS, oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. And I don't even blame Twitter. I can't blame Twitter, because the apps look exactly the same. It's just that the Twitter app, which is not an amazing app, but runs better on Android, fantastically better on Android. So we might get a faster phone, but unfortunately, if iOS itself is just not ready for prime time, it's a law of diminishing returns. You can get faster hardware. The apps like Twitter still run horrifically. They're not going to improve it. Why? Is anybody going to buy a new phone, to fix their Twitter app? No, because they don't see the problem. That's why they keep buying iPhones. The infamous they. Did they even see a problem with the software? No, they don't. Because if they did, they wouldn't put up with it. Yeah. So that's my feeling. Yes, they throw hardware at software problems. And it only gets them so far. But it's mind-numbingly appalling. That's one word I could use. It's mind-numbingly inexcusable that Apple's gotten as far as it's gotten. But, it sells hardware and people are buying, so who am I to argue? That's how they make their money. They don't make their money by selling software, that's for sure. Well, at least their own software. From YouTube, should check out Dreamcade Replay for retro gaming. Looks like it'll ship after the first of the year. Yeah, don't you remember I did a video on it? I don't know if that was said tongue-in-cheek. I didn't say it tongue-in-cheek. I did a video on it, like, last year. This year? Boy, I'm already into 2018. 2017's been so bad. Yeah, you thought 2016 was bad? 2017 said, hold my beer. Hold my unboxing juice. Yeah, I did a video on it. I'm way ahead of you, man. Way ahead of you. So just watch that video. If you have no idea what I'm talking about. The Dreamcade Replay. I think that's what I titled it, too. It's in the other YouTube channel. YouTube.com/Chris. It was a very popular video. Sorry, I did not say my full last name, but if you don't know where the hell to find me by now, there's probably no hope for you. I saw a fidget NES controller cube, something. No, it wasn't an NES. It was a Darth Vader branded cube, like in the same packaging as one of their the Star Wars branded fidget spinners. How's my Thanksgiving weekend? It was fine. Not a turkey was maimed. Bondi7 asks in Discord chat, do you think kids should learn how to code at an early age? I think development and coding, if you will, programming, is as essential a skill as mathematics, as reading, as is mastery of a language, as is science, as is anything. I think it's critical. If only because it enables you to learn more than just coding, right? You've got certain steps that you go through, and then you've succeeded in developing something that didn't exist before, right? But to me, it also reinforces logic, which I believe leads to critical thinking skills, or further developing critical thinking skills, and I think it's lacking. I remember taking a class. It was a government class, but there was like a subclass within the class. They wanted to teach logic, and I actually passed with like a 98% in that on the test. There was one logic test, but it was simple for me. I probably could have been a developer. I'm not. I probably never will be. But the tools were a bit esoteric at the time, and I didn't latch on. I found myself more fascinated with what software can do rather than just writing the software myself. But yeah, it's critical. And the nice thing is there are so many opportunities for kids to learn, how to develop on various platforms, and that's something that I will be absolutely introducing Jedi to as soon as I possibly can, as soon as she's ready for something like that. You can develop on as much as on a system as simple as an iPad with Swift Playgrounds. Certainly far more advanced than basic programming was back in the day for me. I enjoyed that kind of stuff, but I ultimately just kind of fell away. My pursuits were far more creative than they were developmental in terms of software development. But I'll be giving those tools to Jedi so that she can develop, she can code. I think we had a few rudimentary systems back in the day, but nothing like what we have today. I mean, I just see some amazing stuff out there. I can't get it because it may be outdated by the time Jedi's ready for it. But yeah, I think kids should absolutely learn how to code at an early age. I think I dare anybody to find an alternative argument to that. If you believe that math is critical, if you believe that science is critical, if you believe that reading is critical, development is just as critical, programming is just as critical, and you don't have to be a developer to understand this stuff. It's logic. If anything, that's the gateway to empowering somebody to make them realize, or to help them realize, that you can make technology do what you want it to do. I think it's very powerful stuff. Very powerful stuff. Whether or not she ever becomes a software developer, that's not the goal. It's just to be able to show her this is the thing that she could do. What are your thoughts, asks Chai L95 Shirag. What are your thoughts on the theory that Kylo is Luke's son? What? That doesn't even make any sense. How? Huh? Okay, I don't know what websites y'all are visiting, but I'm going to grab my Lego pen. I'm going to write something down because I think you've got a good Q&A with you and me for that development code thing. So, my thoughts on that? I think it's asinine. Powerful force sensitivity. No, but it runs in his family. And the name Ben, since Luke was the only one calling Obi-Wan Ben. But it was honoring the memory of Obi-Wan. Paying, what is it, homage? It was an homage, like paying respect to Ben. Luke saw that Kylo was going to betray him, gave him up to Han and Leia and try and change his path. Nah, I don't buy it. And that, I mean, who knows? I'm not going to sit here and debate, but, it's a possibility. Programming skills. Age. Okay. I don't know if that's going to turn into a let's talk about, but it's a good topic to dive a little further into in the Chris Pirillo channel. Sobak75, Tim. Some call him Tim. You said before you were having issues getting your Google Home set up. What was the problem? Mine was working in minutes. I don't want to go into it. It was an esoteric issue, and I'm glad that we kind of got past it, kind of, but not really. It still doesn't work perfectly, but the cool thing is Diana can control it, and she can listen to music and do all that fun stuff. I think for $29, they're not a bad deal. They're everywhere for $29. In fact, I think they're going to be $29 throughout the rest of the year. Good impulse buy. Having used it. In fact, let's talk about Google Home. Let's do that. You guys are giving me good let's talk about topics for the other channel. Google Home. I'm not a fan of the Echo. The only Echo I'm a fan of is Mark Echo. I'm wearing one of his hoodies. I don't know him, but it's a very comfortable hoodie. It's got Stormtrooper on it. So yeah, my feeling is you could, if you're so inclined, get a Google Home, even if you're using iOS. There are certain hooks for it. You may be able to get more use out of it than we do. But for asking weather, setting timers, listening to music, I do a broadcast. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this. Listen. Broadcast. I'm just wondering if I'll be able to eat dinner while I broadcast TLDR tonight.
Got it. Broadcasting now.
Did you hear it? Oh, it was probably so distant. Well, the cool thing is that with Google Assistant, you can effectively broadcast your voice. The problem is it doesn't work both ways. It only works one direction, because Jedi was trying to talk back to it and was completely stymied. Like she couldn't figure out, Dad, where are you? Dad? And I wasn't responding because I couldn't hear. That'd be really neat if they enabled the two-way. I think they should, but it was pretty neat to see that. And it's a pretty powerful little speaker too. So for $29, there's very few other pieces of technology that I can say, yeah, I think it's worth the money. I think $29 is worth it. $50? No. $29? Yeah, it's definitely impulse buy territory. I think if you use Google, you'll be happy. It's not perfect. It is improving over time. I think Jedi's talking back to the speaker again. I heard her. I know you don't have a lot of time to watch content, but I recommend you sub to a YouTube channel called Star Wars Theory. Think you'd enjoy it. Wow, they got, 760,000 subscribers? Man. The theory video, Star Wars Theory videos are hot. I'm not very good at Star Wars Theory. I just kind of accept it and like, oh yeah, that's cool. I guess that works. I listen to theories, but beyond that, I tend not to go too deep. In fact, I may be doing Star Wars Battlefront again tonight, possibly finishing story mode tonight on twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo. Everybody should have at least basic logic classes. Yeah, I agree. Michael Jacobs says, hey, Chris Pirillo, missed the stream yesterday. Glad to have it back today. Yes. Well, see, that's what I thought, too. I was like, yeah, let's do a little live stream here. I'll throw everybody a bone. Normally, I just try to do it on the weekdays, but, why not? It's worth a shot. For a half hour or so to put something out there so that maybe the people waking up on Monday morning have something in their inbox or whatever box you use to subscribe to YouTube videos. From YouTube chat, have you found a use case in your workflow for any of the Razer laptops? I have not, and here's why. I have to send them back. So I don't know the point of tweaking them any further than I might have, or playing with them. I mean, yeah, I have been playing with them. They are nice. I've got them stacked up right here. Still inclined to say that the little one, the Stealth, is the one I would go with. Boy, their logo is so unobtrusive. I didn't even notice it until now. Wow. Okay, I like that. That's clean. Not sure I like it, but I mean, I prefer not to have a logo. Period. I wish they would have used their logo, but I love the keyboard. Some people are like, why are you going on about the keyboard? You're too happy. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? That keyboard's awesome. Oh, sign in. This is just, it's nice. It's just clean. It's nice. I wish I didn't have to send them back, but I do. So I've got to, I just don't know if I'd want to spend too much more time on messing with them at all. Because why get used to something that inevitably you're not going to have? Like, if it was like the Pixel Book where I intended on keeping it, then, it would be a different story. And I'd, go through the rigmarole of getting things going. But this is something that I've asked. I'm like, well, how long am I holding on to them? What's going on with this stuff? But they're still nice. They're all very nice. They fit different, or they serve different purposes, I should say. But I think I would either go with this one or the big one with this kind of screen. The sharpness of the text is just it's astounding. I love the sharpness, the clarity of the text. Oh, it's beautiful. I sound like Renee Belloc. It's beautiful. And then I blow up. Remember? Am I the only one who's seen Raiders of the Lost Ark? Possibly. Y'all are young. Y'all are crazy young. Not too young, I'd imagine. If you're staying up late today-ish to watch me geek out. Mm-hmm. D says, I don't know, I'd hope you try the OP5T. I saw you post a video in Discord chat, D, and it looked not great. Granted, you were walking, and it was nighttime, but there was a lot of blur that I really was not a fan of. It was like the frame rate dropped to like 24 frames per second. The steadiness, I'm sure, was ample, but I'm not sure that the OnePlus 5T has a camera that I would appreciate, in terms of the shots that I may want to take. I mean, I've been lucky to have this device because I feel like the just about the first shot I take is the shot that I would keep. For example, I took this photo yesterday. There's a seagull. Sorry, the brightness is a little off. There was a seagull that was on the curb, and I made a little quip on Twitter saying, those drivers never pick me up right away. The drivers that you call curbside from your phone, from your app on your phone. Anyway, it was funnier when I actually tweeted it. And then I was driving and I saw this line. Let's see here. I just tweeted this as well, at Chris Pirillo. Spoiler alert. You can get all this stuff on my other social feeds. But I did this from, my car, and it wasn't exactly a perfect shot, a still shot in every way, but I still got it. And someone had messed up the paint job on the street, and I was like, that was really funny. It's easy to get to. Double tap, boom, I'm in. Take a picture, and then I'm on with life. There were even birds that were a flock of birds that were flying, and by the time I could pull out the camera, they could have been gone. And this is really going to be very difficult to see, but effectively, there's the birds in like a flying V formation. But anyway, being able to pull out the phone, double tap, and get a shot that I wanted right away with HDR and all that stuff I thought it was rather amazing. It would take a lot for me to, get pulled into the OnePlus 5T. If the general software experience was better, yeah, maybe, but I did everything I could, just like with Razer. I reached out to them, I asked them questions, if they'd be willing. They didn't really get back to me, and the next thing I hear from a different company, I'm doing the sponsored reviews, or I did the sponsored post for the Razer laptops, but I tried the same thing. I'm reaching out to these various companies, and they just never get back to me. So I can't justify spending in this holiday season. I cannot justify spending like $500 on a phone that could very well be a secondary device. Not a good idea. That is not an intelligent move. I know. Well, wait. Everyone else does. It's good for them. They love gadgets. Do I need to say this again? I don't. I like what gadgets do. I like when I can find a place for those gadgets. I know I can find a place for one of the Razer laptops because I don't have a VR type of system, right? And the bigger ones would be suitable for that. It would find its place. But another smartphone, unless I get it as a review unit, what's going on with whatever is going on there. Wrath of Khan, yeah, the data mining thing. OnePlus still needs to clean up its act, but I think they've done a pretty good job at damage control on this. But I would use one, sure, but at this stage, I don't know if I could. I couldn't justify it. I couldn't justify the spend. I'm not a reviewer. I'm not like one of your average techies. I'm Chris Pirillo. I tend to be a bit honest. That's my problem. What's funny is someone else, I guess, one of the other YouTubers who does tech stuff, came out and said to avoid the iPhone 10 or something. I'm like, oh no, you guys just you be you, man. You be you. Any recommendations for family accounting software, something like QuickBooks, etc., but not for a corporation? No, I don't. I don't have any recommendations at all. I don't. I would tend not to buy something that you can find in an office supply store, though. Remember to @Chris Pirillo and ask a question again if it's missed. Yes, that's for sure. Sorry if I don't, have an answer to that, but I don't. It's not really something that I use. Okay. Thoughts on Lego investing? Asks someone on YouTube. That's a good question, but we're kind of like winding down. Maybe we can kick that off. That's a really good question. In the next live video that we do. Hold your thought. I will address that. But thank you, everybody, for subscribing, tuning in live, turning on notifications, subscribing to the YouTube channel. I will likely be battlefronting later. But I'm going to move on. It is dinner time for me. I love you. I appreciate you. And at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. May the Force be with you.